Thunder Bay, Ontario, Canada is a vibrant city nestled on the shores of Lake Superior, known for its stunning natural landscapes, outdoor adventures, and rich cultural heritage. Home to iconic Sleeping Giant, it's a top destination for nature lovers. Fun fact, Thunder Bay has more sunshine hours annually than Miami, Florida. Paul Pepe is the manager of Thunder Bay's tourism board and is dedicated to promoting the city's unique offerings. He's our guest in episode number 54 of the Fact Up podcast with Jim Bamboulis. Paul shares and discusses Thunder Bay's hidden gems. Fun fact, nearly 2,200 hours of sunlight each year in Thunder Bay. Is that true?
That is definitely true, Jim. We are the sunniest city in Eastern Canada. And, during the summer months in particular, where, the sun rises before 6 a.m., sets at 11 o'clock at night, we have incredibly long days. And, even here in the winter where the daylight's a bit shorter, we have a ton of sunny days here in Thunder Bay, which makes for like the perfect winter day out exploring.
Unbelievable. Paul Pepe, you are the manager of Tourism Thunder Bay, Ontario. Welcome to the Fact Up podcast, good sir.
Oh, great to be here, Jim. Always love chatting with you.
Besides ample vitamin D, Paul, why should travelers put Thunder Bay on their Canadian travel list?
Well, Thunder Bay is widely regarded as one of Canada's premier outdoor cities. And so, for folks that are really looking for that intimate connectivity to nature in an urban base camp, I think Thunder Bay has a lot of what people are looking for. So, we're here on the shore of Lake Superior, the world's largest freshwater lake, which is just out my window there. We're on the edge of the world's biggest, boreal forest, contiguous boreal forest. And we're on the traditional lands of Fort William First Nation, Indigenous peoples that have lived here for thousands and thousands of years. So there's a really strong, intimate connectivity to the land here. And so for folks that want to get out and explore trails, explore the provincial and national parks that are around us, to explore the bike paths and lanes and parks that are within the city itself, it's like the perfect place to get out and explore on the land, on the water. We always encourage folks to get out and play hard out in the landscape or on the water, mountain biking or hiking or paddling or whatever, people love to do, and then reward themselves with really one of many, many choices of eclectic culinary experiences that we have in a small city here. So that's why, that's what we have going for us here.
We're going to get to the culinary, we're going to get to the details, but I really want to emphasize, and that's all 4 seasons, right?
Exactly. And that's the nice thing. We definitely have 4 distinct seasons here in Thunder Bay. We have a beautiful winter season and, ski hills and cross-country trails and snowshoeing trails, fat biking, all of that here in the winter. And then, for summer, we're known for really long days. And, for those that love to get out on the bike or get out hiking or get out on the water, we just have so much available right at the doorstep, right within the city itself without even having to leave the city limits. So, and then fall colors right now, we're just at the tail end of the fall color season, but we tend to attract people from all over the world, that are coming here to the Lake Superior Basin just to, check out the fall colors here. The Aurora Borealis has been amazing over the last week here in the region. So, there's lots of reasons to visit here year round.
I'm one of the few Canadians I feel that have never seen the Northern Lights.
Oh my goodness. Here in Thunder Bay, you can see them when they're out. You can see them right from the city. You don't even really have to leave the city to see them. You can go down to the marina. So yeah, you definitely got to come up in the fall and check it out. So
no doubt. Here, listen, for those who don't know geography very well, let's put Thunder Bay in kind of perspective. Where is it located on a map, and how easy is it to get there no matter where you're traveling from?
Yeah, in terms of, where our location is easy to get to. We're right on the Trans-Canada Highway on Highways 11 and 17. So we're an 8-hour drive from Winnipeg. And although, we're a 15-hour drive from Toronto, we're well served with up to 10 flights a day direct from Toronto with Air Canada, Porter, and Flair. We have 2 direct flights with Porter from Ottawa and 2 direct flights a day from Winnipeg with WestJet. So really easy to get to by air or by land if you're a road tripper. The flights are anywhere from like an hour and a half to 2 hours. So really quick to get here. And we're also a 45-minute drive from the American border, from the Minnesota border. So 6-hour drive to Minneapolis, St. Paul from here. So, we're right in the heart of the country. We're right in the middle of Canada. And, for a lot of folks that are looking to get away, to a smaller city that has that great access to nature, we're easy to get to.
talk about kind of delve into the natural and adventurous side of the city and the region itself. I feel like, especially post COVID, people are looking for those experiences wide open in nature. Talk
Mhm.
about that, delve into that, and how blessed the region is to have that.
Oh yeah, no, we're really fortunate here because, as I said, we're a smaller city, about 120,000 people, and about half of the population of Northwest Ontario, which is a massive area geographically, lives here in and around the city. So nature is at our doorstep. My office is I am a block away from Lake Superior, just out my window here. I can see the lake clear as day out my office here, and so Lake Superior plays a really big role in our culture here. There's sailing church, there's Sail Superior that can get you out on the lake by sailboat or by high-speed powerboat if you want to explore the islands. We have Sleeping Giant Provincial Park out the window here, just across the bay from us. I can see it clear as day today. And Sleeping Giant is an Ontario provincial park that is one, consistently ranked, certainly one of the top provincial parks in Canada. And it's easy to get to. It's less than an hour's drive from the city itself. And it is home to some of Ontario's highest cliffs. Silver Island is this great little community at the tip of the park that has this amazing 150-year-old general store with like cinnamon buns and fresh coffee. And from there you can throw your paddleboard or kayak in the water right from there, or take a charter fishing boat out to see Porphyry Island Lighthouse. So there's that. If you want to connect on the water and get out on the world's biggest freshwater lake, that's the place to do it. And companies like Viking and Hapag-Lloyd and Ponant Cruises, they're bringing expedition cruise ships here, and really showcasing on these smaller, more intimate ships, really getting people up and close to this natural environment that is as exotic as anywhere else in the world to these passengers. For those that want to get on the land, we're really known for a lot of the trails around here. As I said, we're really the urban base camp of so many provincial national parks. And so we have a lot of trail networks within the city. We have Trowbridge Forest here, which is home to over 50 kilometers of mountain bike trails. They group fat bike trails in the summer, or sorry, in the winter. And so, that's become a really popular destination for people that travel with their bikes. So, we're becoming a year-round cycling destination with mountain biking in the summer, fat biking in the winter. And, you don't even have to leave the city limits. That trail network is less than a 10-minute drive from downtown and from the waterfront district. So for those that are looking to get out into nature, they don't have to travel far. We have 2 downhill ski facilities here in the city. We have a number of cross-country ski facilities as well, trails, and so we're really known, for our skiing here and for our Nordic skiing in particular. So, we're hosting people from all across Canada every winter that come here for skiing competitions and getting out and about and outside.
Are people always coming back to you and being really surprised and just kind of like floored of how amazing the region is and how much they underestimated it?
Oh, completely. Yeah, I think Thunder Bay is still one of those hidden gems that way. And we've really gained in popularity. Post COVID, people were looking for smaller destinations. They were looking for access to nature, and I think for a lot of Canadians, they started to really rediscover Thunder Bay, and that reputation is continuing to grow. That with this amazing cycling scene that we have here that's really growing leaps and bounds. The culinary scene, which we'll talk about a little bit more later, is that Thunder Bay is full of all these really pleasant surprises that people didn't know existed, and I think people have started to discover that. They're starting. I think travelers in general. A lot of travelers are starting to discover smaller destinations, smaller cities, and Thunder Bay is really delivering that. And the community is really investing in new infrastructure and active transportation infrastructure and parks and these types of investments that make Thunder Bay, I think, a more attractive destination for folks. So right now we're spending millions of dollars just redoing our waterfront downtown neighborhood. That's going to create just an amazing plaza atmosphere next year for the businesses downtown and for visitors that want to explore. And so we're really investing in becoming just that much more of a destination for folks and being easy to get to. Once people realize that you can get a quick flight here, people are excited to be able to try and explore somewhere new.
But wait, there's more. History and culture play a starring role with experiences, again, at the front and center. Talk about those historical cultural experiences that the city has to offer, including the largest living history attraction in North America.
Well, yeah, Fort William Historical Park. So, Fort William Historical Park is a recreation of a fur trade post, which was very prominent in the early 1800s in this area as well. And it was sort of the inland headquarters of the Northwest Company. And so it's over 42 buildings on over 125 acres. And, during the summer months, it's animated, costume staff who live and breathe 1816. And so, it's an opportunity for visitors to really learn about, that early pattern of settlement to Canada, early trade in Canada, early transportation routes in Canada, and the relationships with, the Indigenous peoples of the region as well. And so that's an amazing, amazing cultural attraction for folks to visit. And, we are on the traditional lands of the Anishinaabe people of Fort William First Nation. The Indigenous cultural influences in Thunder Bay are enormous. Thunder Bay Art Gallery has an incredible selection of Indigenous artists in their 1,600 piece collection here. They're building a new multi-million-dollar gallery right now on the waterfront to be able to better showcase their Indigenous art collection. We have a number of Indigenous artisans here. Anishinaabe Art Gallery, which represents dozens of regional Indigenous artists. It's a retail gallery downtown in the Waterfront District. Amazing place. And then in Fort William First Nation itself, Anemkiwaju, which is the scenic lookout, Mount McKay, as a lot of people know it, but the Anishinaabe name is Anemkiwaju. And, from there, people can drive up there and they can actually look out over the lake and over the whole city and actually all of, the region from the lookouts on top of the mountain. And they have a beautiful, beautiful powwow grounds up there as well. So on, the Canada Day weekend, they host a big powwow. On September 30th, during Truth and Reconciliation Day, they host a powwow as well. And these events are, certainly open to the public to come and enjoy and learn about the Indigenous culture of our region, which plays such an important role in our identity here in the community. So, the Indigenous culture is really important. The European early settlement, 17, 18, 1900s, plays a very prominent role. And over the last 10, 15 years, we've seen Thunder Bay's immigration become so much more global with influences from around the world, people moving here from around the world, particularly in the last 10 to 15 years, that are making Thunder Bay home and loving it. And so we have this incredible global multicultural mix in a small Canadian city, on the edge of the Canadian Shield and Boreal Forest.
Yeah, I mean, it's not your grandpa's Thunder Bay.
Yeah, that's what we find. I talked to a lot of folks that were here, as a child. They were doing the cross Canada road trip in the '80s in their parents' station wagon, and that's what they remember driving through Thunder Bay in the '70s or '80s. And now, they're growing up or their kids are coming up here, and it's a different Thunder Bay than people remember it. And that's really what's exciting for us in the tourism sector, is watching this evolution, seeing people come back or seeing people visit for the first time, and seeing it through either a new lens or a renewed lens. And we have a lot to be proud of here and a lot to showcase, and to see and to hear from visitors, and not just leisure visitors, but we host a lot of conferences here, we host a lot of provincial and national sporting events here, and just to hear the feedback from people is incredible about what they're loving about the city.
History and culture is also mixed with food, namely Persians and Finnish pancakes. Explain what the Persian is and why are Finnish pancakes such a thing in Thunder Bay?
Well, Persian. So the Persian is a little bit, it's a Thunder Bay delicacy, and I don't think there's anything delicate about it. It is this amazing, it's fantastic. It is really, everybody that comes here has to have one. And there's a number of bakeries that produce them. So the Persian is basically a big, large fried cinnamon roll with a strawberry, almost like a butter icing on it. And it is a staple, and there's a number of legends of how it evolved, but certainly Bennett's Bakery was one of the original purveyors of this confection, and it became very, very popular. It's become just an institution of the city. And now there's a number of bakeries that do their own take on it and their own versions of it. So it's only found here, and it's something that, visitors, who have a sweet tooth, really love. Finn pancakes, of course, which is a thin crepe-like pancake. It's not like your typical big, heavy North American buttermilk, wheel. It is these very thin crepe-like sweet pancakes. And they're really popular here because Thunder Bay has a huge Finn population. We actually, is rumored that, we have the largest concentration of Finn-speaking descendants outside of Finland, anywhere in the world. And, and that really speaks to sort of early immigration in the 1900s of, people were leaving Europe after the wars, and they settled in Thunder Bay because the topography, the geography, the geology was a lot like Finland, a lot like the Scandinavian countries. So just people, migrated here to work in the in the lumber industry, in the mining industry, and they made it home. And so those influences carry on today, where a number of restaurants serve these delicacies here on the menus.
Is there a magical place in Thunder Bay where you can go for a sauna and have Finn pancakes at the same time?
Yes, there is, Jim. I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, Kangas Sauna. Kangas Sauna is the place to go. Yeah, it's a local. It's once again another institution of Thunder Bay, and is a public sauna. And they have a lot of little. You go in there and you can book your own private sauna for 90 minutes or so. And they even have a meeting size sauna, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, you can book a small, medium, large sauna. I mean, people have birthday parties there. And it's just part of that, that Scandinavian tradition here in the community. And of course, then they have this great restaurant within the sauna that serves amazing Finn cuisine as well, and Finn pancakes. So, and that is really, once again, another Thunder Bay institution, very unique. A lot of people that come here to play hard outside, that's how they like to end their day. You're out skiing, you're out fat biking, you're out mountain biking, go for a sauna at the end of the day, loosen up, have a great meal, and away you go. So, that really makes for a fun experience and a fun destination.
Heaven.
Yeah, it is. Oh, it is. Yeah. When it's 30 below outside in, February, you've been outside playing and fat biking and skiing, snowshoeing. And it is just such a great way to kind of reward yourself for being out in nature like that. And it's fantastic.
Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about putting the calories back on. Talk about the evolution of the Thunder Bay culinary scene. A lot of people are traveling for food these days, and why should Thunder Bay be on their radar?
Yeah, lots of reasons, Jim. And we kind of touched on it a little bit earlier, but as we like to say, we like people to play hard and reward themselves, and the culinary is a big part of that. And I would say over the last 20 years, we've seen this evolution of Thunder Bay's culinary scene. And I'll give I think a couple of restaurants, in particular Caribou Restaurant, which is still a staple of like fine dining here in Thunder Bay. They were really one of the originators of the new culinary direction in Thunder Bay over 20 years ago, and they're still as good today as they were 20 years ago. And it's really that modern Canadian cuisine, the use of local ingredients, supporting the local farmers, local producers as much as possible. And then I would say, 2010, 2012, we started to see more and more of this. And the young tattooed pierced chefs all, cranking out amazing food, and, choosing to stay here versus move away to a bigger city. And we've seen more farmers and we've seen more food producers here locally pop up. And so you have this stronger and this growing sort of farm to table movement here. But we just have this incredible diversity of great food. And, particularly, it's all across the city. You'll find these great little gems. Some of them have been around since the 30s, 40s, 50s, little cafes and in different incarnations. But over the last 10, 15 years, we've really seen the food scene explode. And the really cool thing here is it's very collaborative. Restaurateurs work with each other, not against each other here. And so what you see is this healthy ecosystem brewing. So, you got Tomlin downtown, which has the most amazing gourmet hamburgers on Tuesdays. And it's also where you can get like a 70-day dry aged ribeye for you and your friends. And so it's got this great diversity there. And, you've got Bite on the waterfront, you've got Nook, you've got El Trey from Mexican, all these great influences. And that's part of it, with Thunder Bay's population really becoming more globally diverse in the last decade, 15 years. We have all these, Mediterranean and Middle Eastern and Southeast Asian influences that are really popping into the mix as well. And so that's what really makes it exciting here, is that there's just no end to great food. We've got 4 microbreweries now here in the city as well. So the drink side of it, the beer side of it also, is part of the culinary mix here in a big way. So we've just lots to choose from, lots to keep people fueled after they've been out playing all day.
If I say the word community to you, what comes to mind?
With community, what I think what it is it's a city that is really proud of who it is and where it's going. In that sense, is that you just find here people are working together, people are friendly here, people are welcoming, and people are here. They wave at each other down the street, say hi to each other. There's a friendliness here in the community. That's something we hear from visitors. Is that definitely there's that small city vibe and that feel of that, everybody's rolling together here. Everybody's working to grow Thunder Bay. And as I said, we see it in the food scene where, restaurateurs collaborate with one another. We're seeing it in the small business scene here, in the tourism scene, where, there's collaborations and there's really a lot of energy and a lot of creativity, to grow the city. And that's what makes it a fun place to be. And from a tourism lens, like, on the professional side, it's great to see all of these new visitor experiences grow here. I think people love the laid back pace that we have here in the community. It's for folks that really love that connection to nature. And so I think every one of us that's here is drawn by that. It's drawn by that connectivity we have to the environment around us and that just laid back lifestyle here.
For everything Thunder Bay, including itineraries, attractions, experiences, where are people going online? What's the website?
Yeah, visit thunderbay.com is our website, and that is an amazing online trip planner. Follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. We also follow us on, follow our Economic Development Commission, Thunder Bay Lifestyles on Instagram as well. Great daily reels and content there on, what the lifestyle's like here and what the vibe is like in the community. So, great online trip planning tools that we have here. You can even book your online, your hotels on our website as well. And lots of information on how to get here, how to experience Thunder Bay to the fullest on a year-round basis.
Paul Pepe, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today, good sir. I wish you and your team at Thunder Bay Tourism continued success and an influx of continued curious travelers.
Yes, thank you, Jim. And as always, I love chatting with you, love working with you, and thank you so much.